to the crowd here that Broken Arrow seems like they might be able to.
Parental discretion is advised.
And I kind of got this feeling as he's being introduced to the crowd here that Broken Arrow seems like they might be able to exploit some of the maybe defensive problems that Jenks has had. But here's a look at how those start. We'll get some of Charlie's thoughts as we roll on through. And there you see two of the keys in this are Dustin Lawless. He's the captain. He'll play midfield. He has 10 goals this season. He's sporting a little bit of a blonde tint to the hair this year, too, so you'll be able to tell him. Number 12. And number 14, Jason Lyons. He scored 7 goals. As you can see, not a very balanced scoring attack by the Jenks Trojans. Pretty heavy on 2 guys.
No, Lawless is going to do a great job. He's one of the players I tried to recruit to come to NSU, and we lost him to Southwestern. Very fast, great left foot, gets forward well. Obviously, on the Jenks team, he plays as a striker, and his club team, he plays as a left midfielder. And he's going to be hard to handle. But like I said, you can never, once you close one guy down, you never know who's going to come out of the woodwork and cause you a problem.
John Dessauer, midfielder. And, of course, we had a Grinnell in game 1. We do in game 2. Nate, keep an eye on Daniel Fleming, the midfielder, number 8. He's a junior, and he has a ton of potential. And once again, we mentioned Jason Lyons, and he's very impressive. Hey, we heard from him in the pregame show. There's Mike Horn, the head coach of the Jenks Trojans. Last season, he was 10-4, and this season they've had a few problems, but still in that same vein, it's a very, very good soccer team that he has. Good look at Mike Horn. Good look at Aaron Sanders. He's a starting goalkeeper for the Broken Arrow Tigers. He's only allowed 1 goal this season. Very confident kid, too, Charlie. Very confident in his ability.
Very, very confident. And they've got a couple of good goalkeepers. Sanders is doing a great job at starting there. They've really got a lot of depth in there as well. So I think they feel very confident in the goalkeeping position.
J.J. Havlick, one of the leaders on this team, the senior.
Great player, great left foot, and he's going to TU. He's going to go and play Division 1 at Tulsa University.
Very up-and-coming program. There with Tom McIntosh, and there you get a look at the rest of the starting lineup for the Broken Arrow Tigers. We'll fill you in as the evening goes on. Jonathan Weaver, one of the better ones. And there's the head coach of the Broken Arrow Tigers. He's undefeated this year. He has 137 wins, as we mentioned in his career at Broken Arrow. Terry Strombeck, and I mean, I really can't gush over a facility much more than I have, but he's got a great one here in the city of Broken Arrow. And by the way, much thanks to the entire city of Broken Arrow for making this possible. And if they're coming out tonight, they're getting to see a very good soccer showdown, a very good soccer team in these Broken Arrow Tigers. Had a good game in game 1, good physical. Obviously don't want to compare anymore to game 1, but as far as the physical nature is concerned, we might see more of it here in game 2. As you see Broken Arrow, I have them as number 1 in my top 10, but number 2 here, according to the Tulsa World. Broken Arrow, they're at 6-0. Number 2, you see Norman North, Westmore, Norman, Memorial. Good placing for the Tulsa Public Schools at 5th, and then there's the Jenks Trojans at 6-1 on the season, and the rest of the schools from the west side of the state. So you got a battle of number 2 in some rankings versus number 6, and obviously I guess you could say that the Broken Arrow Tigers would be the favorite here tonight, but like you kind of have been telling me, Charlie, don't underestimate this Jenks Trojan team.
Well, I mean, it's a big game for them. Most of the players play in the competitive leagues. They're looking forward to this game. They've got a great facility. They've got a great playing surface, and I think it could be an exciting game. There's no question that I think Broken Arrow, man for man, is on tops, but I still wouldn't cancel out the Jenks Trojans yet.
The starters are being introduced to the crowd as we speak. And we remind you that not only do we do high school soccer, but we do it again. Live now, or maybe you're watching the replay. The replay will be tonight at 10 o'clock immediately following the live telecast, or you can also watch us Saturday. The second replay begins at 7 p.m. We'll have one more replay for those of you that just can't get enough Broken Arrow Jenks soccer. The last replay will be Sunday night at 10 p.m., all on Cox Channel 9. So one more time, following the game tonight, the live telecast at 10 o'clock will be a replay of today's game. If you missed that, you can catch it Saturday beginning at 7 p.m. and the last replay will be Sunday night at 10. So that means I can go home and watch myself. And then I could watch myself again on Saturday if I wanted, Charlie. And then if we wanted to, we could go watch ourselves again on Sunday.
I think by tonight we'll pass.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we'll just leave enough for everybody else. Let's not get greedy.
Basically a good chance for the parents, fans, and friends to catch high school soccer action for the first time on Cox Communications this season. And there you get a good look at the officials for tonight's game. By the way, we got to send out a special thank you to Ryan Sigich. He is the referee here this evening, and he's helped us out with several of the rules. And obviously we mentioned the many differences because let's face it, we are watching the high school level of soccer here this evening, and some of these officials officiate so many different games and so many different rules for each level.
No, that's correct. And parents sometimes keeping up with it also, so that's where you get some of the disgruntled parents wondering, well, what happened there when you have different rules from club play, college play, and school play.
And of course, the other official, Keith Haynes, is a substitute tonight. He'll be referee 1 on the Jenks side, and David Funk on the Broken Arrow side. Our national anthem.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, see, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Very impressive rendition of the national anthem.
I must say all the same, from a soccer enthusiast, this is great what Cox Cable is doing right now, having an opportunity, these young men get a chance to play on television, go back, review it, get a copy of the tape, go back and see what they're doing. This is such an advantage for the coaches, an advantage for the players. It's really exciting that we're at this level, and we really appreciate what Cox Cable is doing for us.
And as you can see, I'm sure the cameramen are happy that they're out on the field in a tornado watch. Meantime, 79 degrees, 30 degrees is the wind from the south. We are under a tornado watch. What's the quickest evacuation out of here? I think I'd be the only guy that would be on the elevator instead of having to walk down the steps here at Broken Arrow Memorial Stadium.
Well, you know, they say soccer players play in all weather, so cameramen live with it. Sorry,
exactly.
guys.
And we are underway in Game 2. Hope you enjoy it as much as the entire crew here from Cox Communication does bringing it to you. I'm Chris Plank, along with Charlie Mitchell, and we are glad to be on hand here at Broken Arrow Memorial Stadium. And some of the physical play continues from Game 1 already off the top. And Jenks attacks in its own end.
It's going to be a quick play here by Jenks.
Keep an eye on a number of players. Watch again the physical play already, and a little tumble to the turf early for Ryan Johnson.
Good defense there. Good breakaway by Broken Arrow. Counter-attacking.
Tigers back the other way. Good breakout for Havlick. Havlick works it down the left side of the field and too far for Jonathan Weaver.
But he put enough pressure on the Jenks defense to knock the ball out of play.
Yep. That's all that really matters, is maintaining possession on a push like this. Just underway, opening minute of play here from Broken Arrow Memorial Stadium. Ladies game earlier this evening. Jenks knocked off Broken Arrow 2-0. Here's Jenks playing the ball back, and again, you can tell a difference immediately between the women's game and the men's game now, as Lawless working for possession, and he's being held, but no call made. And they'll work it out on the far side. Here's Johnson leading it ahead. Good pass. Cross to the middle, headed out by Broken Arrow. Two Jenks players are there, but it's cleared out by the Tigers, but not completely out. Kept in by Philip Sutton. Sutton works it ahead on the right side. Can't get anything going for Fleming, and it'll go out of bounds. They'll call a goal kick for the Broken Arrow Tigers. I originally thought, Charlie, that they might have pointed at the corner and we had a corner kick, but not the case. There you see the head ball ahead by Sutton, trying to get something going with Johnson, but not able to finish it. And as you can see, Sanders points the way of the Tigers. The wind is in the face. It's moving in from the south, and that's Aaron Sanders. As we mentioned in the open, he's only allowed 1 goal this season for the Broken Arrow Tigers. He's actually a little bit upset because we almost walked off and forgot to interview him before the game.
Well, goalkeepers are like that.
Yeah.
They're just so, these goalkeepers, you've got to just kind of baby them along. But in all fairness, too, they do a great job. They're out there throwing the bodies in front of balls and stuff like that. So, but they just had a low temperamental. It comes with the game.
Good battle with Fleming, going at it with Ryan, and the ball is cleared down the far side. Broken Arrow now on the attack. Jenks has looked its equal so far in the early going. Of course, we are only 3 minutes into play. Our side giving chase to McCurdy, but the throw-in will belong to the Broken Arrow Tigers. Again, where's the area of the field we need to watch to find out who has the advantage? I guess not so much the midfield area as much as it was in our first game.
Right, and everything's going a lot quicker now. Things happen a lot quicker. So you'll see things moving up front, and breakaways will break out quicker. And this is what's going to be exciting about this game tonight. I'm sure the cameramen are starting to think, oh boy, we're going to have to work overtime on this one. But this is nice play there. Broken Arrow's keeping the ball, trying to find somebody up front.
Good physical play there. Yep. By Dessauer, excuse me.
There's a young Fouché out there. He's just trying to get that ball into play.
And A.J. Fouché. Good battle for the possession there. Ooh, solid shot taken by Lawless. He bounces back up, though.
Jody Walker just playing it safe back to his goalkeeper and start to build again.
Broken Arrow looking to use that attack from the outside.
They're looking to try and get the ball from the back all the way up to Jonathan Weaver and then play it back to the midfield. Here's a counter-attack by Dustin Lawless.
Lawless with a left-footed shot on goal, and Sanders makes the save. It looked like a good scoring opportunity, just wasn't able to...
Just didn't catch it correctly.
Yeah, get the velocity behind the ball. Watch again, left-footed shot by Lawless.
And the reason he didn't get the catch correctly, there was good pressure on him there by Jody Walker. He was putting pressure on him.
There's a good ball by Sanders, high. Battle for possession. Dessauer works it up the left side, and nobody there for the Broken Arrow Tigers, and it's cleared out of bounds by Sutton. Scoreless here in the first half of play between Jenks and Broken Arrow. The Tigers have it in their end for the first time this game. Working down the near side is Fiorentine, and Justin is taken down. Ball will continue the way of the Broken Arrow Tigers, and there you get a good look at Patrick Ryan and I guess the back of Drew Berkey. Watch again, Fiorentine battle for possession.
Young Patrick Ryan there, he comes from a soccer family. His father, Joey Ryan, played there a little while with the Tulsa Roughnecks, and Patrick's got a lot to offer.
Throw in for Broken Arrow towards the middle of the box and cleared back out. We'll just do it again. So Fiorentine will toss it in again. Mentioning that Roughnecks, I got the trivia right, by the way. The only player coach in Roughneck history.
That's correct, though.
Charlie Mitchell. High ball towards the middle of the box. Jenks able to clear it out for now, but held in by Havlik. Havlik fires a, I don't know if you want to call that a shot.
He rushed it a little bit, but you watch this JV Havlik. He'll get a couple of shots off tonight that'll scare some people. He's got a tremendous left foot, and I was at a game here a couple of weeks ago, and he scored two outstanding goals. So he'll be in the money someplace along tonight.
Yeah, watch him here try to get to the ball. That was a wonderful throw-in by Fiorentine, but unable to cash in with the Tigers. Now here's a very, very highly played ball that controlled for the time being by Fleming for Jenks, but taken away by Broken Arrow. Ball towards the middle of the box. Coming out to have to make the play is the goalkeeper, Tyrell. And a great defensive play made by Jenks.
Outstanding. I mean, Jonathan Weaver did a great job there getting his foot on it. The goalkeeper kind of second-guessed himself a little bit, and what a great defensive play right on the line. It's
watch Dessauer. This is amazing. It's indescribable. He had the break there for Weaver, and Dessauer saves the day. Oh my goodness. A bicycle kick to save the goal. That's worth another look.
Good
watch Weaver, he had the angle too.
He did a good job. Jonathan Weaver ran in there, got his knee on the ball. I think he caught him with his knee over the top of the goalkeeper, and the defender was on the ball, and he took care of business back there. Great defensive job.
That's the kind of play that you're glad that the cameras are rolling. Oh my goodness, what an amazing play to save a goal for Jenks early. So the first big play of the game is made by Jenks. There is a collision. Oh man. Still down around the football markings, the 45-yard line, is a Broken Arrow Tiger player. He collided with Dustin Lawless. He's still down. Going to his aid is Drew Berkey.
Just kicked the ball out of bounds. They want to get that ball out of bounds so they can get somebody in there to take a look at the young
Watch
man.
Michael Cooper and Lawless. Lawless for Jenks Cooper. Oh, man, that would make Lester Hayes of the Oakland Raiders happy. That would make Jack Tatum happy.
Michael Cooper's a fine young player. He's going to be okay. He plays with the Highlands, one of the state teams, and he'll be okay. You know, he's strong, he's powerful. I hope he just got the wind taken out of him just a little bit.
He ran into another strong and powerful player in Lawless. He took the worst of that collision, and Michael Cooper holding his jaw a little bit, but he'll get a standing ovation from the crowd as he staggers back towards the sideline. And
well, you take that number 13 and you take what comes with it, so that's the way it works out.
Adam Hollingsworth will check in. You're not a superstitious guy, are you, Charlie?
No, really, unless it's good or bad for me. But no, Michael, thank goodness it looks like he just got winded and nothing serious. And they respect each other, Lawless and Cooper. They'll go at it a little bit later today.
That was Adam Hollingsworth who checked in. Heck, who knows the way things go. They might be teammates on another team. Controlled now by Sanders, who's only allowed 1 goal this season. So a few fireworks off the start here. An amazing play to save a goal by Dessauer. And then the collision between Lawless and Cooper. Now Broken Arrow will start its attack. Great pass and touch ahead, but there to clean up the mess is Grinnell, the senior, one of the captains on this team. Goes all the way through, and it'll be a goal kick for the Broken Arrow Tigers. I guess if you're Broken Arrow, obviously both teams in attack mode, neither one wanting to buy their time, but also neither team in a rush. Kind of a feeling out period once again to start this game too, isn't it, Charlie?
Yes, it is. You know, obviously Broken Arrow's taking it to Jenks a little bit in the first half, and they're going at them pretty good, but Jenks is just going to counter-attack here a couple of times and make something happen. It's you can see he's going to be real physical, and I just like to see the team settle down and just play the ball on the ground just a little bit more.
No battle there by Sutton, put hands off, and Lawless tries to work it ahead, but
that was a low handball by Lawless there, just pulled it.
So fortunately, that's illegal in soccer. Michael Murphy.
It's illegal if the referee sees it. But no, he got caught there. But it looks like he had a good idea. He knew he was going to miss it anyway, so he just tried a little arm, tuck in the arm a little bit.
Aaron Sanders has got more TV time so far in this game than any other player on the field. And he has only had to make 2 saves so far. So Sanders, by the way, one of the better goaltenders in the state, period. Only 1 goal he's allowed all season long. He's one of the reasons why Broken Arrow is one of the top 2 teams in the state of Oklahoma in Class 5A. A good ball for Broken Arrow. Good scoring opportunity. They work it back to Namari. Namari, he drops it to Havlick. You mentioned Havlick's got a great foot. They try to work it down the far side, and too many maroon jerseys and not enough white ones as Jenks loses it out of bounds, or Broken Arrow loses it out of bounds, and now good battle.
Namari and Weaver up front, they're a handful, but you're going to see this breakaway with Dustin Lawless. And
here he comes, and he's got a head of steam. Doesn't have the numbers, but necessarily you don't need them. And can't complete the break. He did have Michael Murphy from the wing streaking down the sideline, but wasn't able to pull it off.
No, but he just took it into the corner, and he got a corner kick out of it. And this is, once again, this is where dead ball situations, it doesn't matter. They're always dangerous dead ball situations.
They had Namari over there. It looked like he might take the kick, but they just traded him out. And it looks like, obviously, they're going to use Daniel Fleming, the midfielder. Obviously has the best hair in the game tonight, too. Agreed?
A great corner.
Crosses it towards the middle. Oh, great scoring opportunity. The ball's still free to Fleming. He's able to drop it back, but Broken Arrow clears it out and avoids the attack so far. Look at how quickly Broken Arrow is in the transition game from defense to offense. Watch the speed on the outside.
Oh,
great cross.
Good goal by
Running
Patrick.
all alone is Fiorentine, but a little bit too far ahead of him. He still controls. Another great pass, but a defensive play to clear it away by Mitch Sullivan.
Mitch Sullivan did outstanding there. He had the player, he made sure he had his player behind him, and he got in front of the ball and just cleared the ball out of there.
Good defensive play as Brian McCurdy trying to battle in there for Jenks, and he'll just boot it out of bounds and Broken Arrow. Watch this attack again.
This will be good between Jonathan Weaver and Mitch Sullivan. The two of them are Mitch is a very physical player, you know, a very dedicated player, good worker. So him and Weaver are going to go at it quite a bit tonight. You can see Mitch is marking him right now.
Throw in for Broken Arrow. Look down the far side. Good battle for the head ball. Cross to the box, has a man once again, cleared. This time, Jenks had to just kick it over the end line because the defense was there, and a smart play by Michael Murphy, and once again, the corner kick for the Broken Arrow Tigers.
Good cross there by Fouché. So he did a good job.
Patrick Ryan will take care of this one. And nothing doing for the Broken Arrow Tigers, straight through. 28 and a half minutes, I should say, still to go in the first half, and look how quickly Jenks wants to get to work on its attack.
Two people pushing up.
2-on-1. Anything philosophically that you see, Charlie, that neither team might want to fine-tune so far? Both very, very aggressive in its attack.
I think it's looking good. I think Broken Arrow's coming out of the way they're doing right now, playing 1-2s on the ground. This is a secret for Broken Arrow, but Jenks is getting bodies behind the ball, which is very, very good.
Patrick Ryan works it down the left side to Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth has it tapped away. He's in there because of the injury to Cooper. Now he's going to get called.
He had a tackle from behind
play,
there,
yeah.
and the player anticipated it. So
what is the rule on the slide tackle, Charlie?
well, you can't slide tackle from behind. You're just going to try and it really hurts the offensive player for getting a chance to play soccer. So if you're going to slide tackle, you got to do it from the front or the side.
That'll get a good run. Lawless with a header. Too much. Wow. Talk about teams that are dialed in right now. It looks like the Trojans are really attacking well.
It's going from end to end. This is entertaining soccer. I still think that you can see that Broken Arrow is trying to play it on the ground against the wind and trying to get the ball wide. You're going to see Fouché in the game. You're going to see Ryan in the game. Then get these ball crossed over to Weaver. And
there's a good look at the shots on goal so far. Jenks has 2, Broken Arrow but 1. Of course, Broken Arrows was on an amazing defensive play to save the day by John Dessauer. And now Aaron Sanders will clear it out for BA. Into the wind. He had to get that goal kick, and obviously the effect shown as McCurdy battles for it. Works down the right side. Great pass and a wonderful slide tackle to break up the play by Broken Arrow.
She did a great tackle. It was a good breakaway. Nice ball, knocked out wide.
Now the Tigers will try to control and can't. Broken Arrow back the other way. Or Jenks, excuse me, back the other way on Broken Arrow, and Lawless can't control the high throw in, and it'll go back the way of the home team, the Broken Arrow Tigers. Chris Plank, Charlie Mitchell, the entire Cox Communications crew on hand for high school soccer action. Our first broadcast of the season, Jenks and Broken Arrow scoreless. Now reaching the midway point of the first half in what's been a high-paced, high-action game as Hollingsworth will toss it in for the Tigers, and you can see the physical nature of this game thus far. Not just that, but we've already had one guy go out with a little bit of a wooziness.
It was Michael Cooper and Dustin Hall. They just collided, and unfortunately Michael got the worst of it, but I'm sure you'll see him back. He's a very tough young man, so he'll be back. I can guarantee you of that.
Last year, the Jenks Trojans 10-4. This year, they're 6-1, and one of the reasons for their success is that man, Nate Grinnell, the senior. He fires one on goal, and equal to the task is Sanders.
Well, Broken Arrow did a good job there. They just all moved out as the player was going to kick it, so they left Jenks in an offside position. So that's one of these set plays that's been well coached and well worked by the team.
Sanders, once again, clears it down the middle of the field, trying to set something up, and again, it's like a good game of catch.
It's true. Brian Reese did a good flick on there. He was trying to flick that ball on to Jonathan Weaver, and defense did a good job of anticipating it. That's what you're going to see Mitch Sullivan doing a job there. He's just going to try and play Weaver out of the game because Weaver's dangerous.
They calling offsides there? Is that what they got? Good play by Broken Arrow.
They're really pushing up.
Yeah, they are. Bringing a lot of the defenders from the back to the front of the attack. Right there doesn't help too much. And kind of a gutsy call against the wind, I guess, too.
Right, that's true. You know, Jody Walker just didn't concentrate there and strike the ball correctly. You know, he's going to just take a deep breath and make sure he doesn't do it again.
Mitch Sullivan, good look at the defender. He's a senior. Waiting. Substitution for the Jenks Trojans is taking a seat as Ryan Johnson. Working it down the near side. Ooh, good try at a pass. No one home from the receiver, Lyons, and comes Broken Arrow, working it down the near side, trying to get something to Ryan, and Patrick can't connect. Throw in for the Jenks Trojans. That'll be taken care of by Nate Grinnell, and a game that was kind of flowing along with the good good roll to it, and a lot of aggressive. Hit a little bit of a wall here, Charlie.
That's right. You know, once again, the two teams, you know, they're a little bit nervous and they want to make sure that nobody makes that first mistake. The Jenks are playing more of a long ball and using that one as an advantage. Using the speed of Dustin Lawless.
He can change the face of the game in a moment. And you woke up a few unsuspecting spectators behind the goal, but it was wide, and it's a goal kick for Aaron Sanders again.
I just don't think he connected correctly there. From our angle here, I think he was trying to cross that ball, and it just got away from him just a little bit.
23-27 and counting, as you can see in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. We'll keep you updated on the game score all evening long as you watch our special presentation of high school soccer. And for these guys, this has got to be a pretty big deal for some of the high school players.
Well, I think it's a big deal. I mean, number one, they all play in good competition as far as the club teams are concerned. But this is high school soccer means a lot to these young men, and a lot of pride involved here and a lot of bragging rights. So I think as the game goes on, you're going to just see even more physical.
Sanders clears this one away, and remember, he is kicking into a 30-mile-an-hour wind. That's why they're not as effective in setting up guys like Jason Lyons right in the middle of the field. But Broken Arrow equal to the task. Nice defensive play made by Havlick. He'll clear it out on the far side of Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth up ahead, trying to work something offensively, but the Trojans counter in the neutral zone.
Everybody's working very hard out there. There's not one player standing still. Everybody's working across the field, trying to close people down.
It's a nice little possession game going on there between Berkey and Fiorentine.
Jody Walker there, just good ball over there.
Jody Walker as well.
Looking for Weaver. Nice play by Weaver.
Far side, watch Weaver. Ball work, nice job.
Well, now it was Weaver.
Jenks Trojans controlling the neutral zone for now, and they're going to get a foul called on Broken Arrow. Watch how quickly they get transition from defensive attack to from defensive position to offensive attack. Trojans transition game is huge. Watch the replay one more time on the foul. Yeah, just got in a little bit late, did Havlick. They caught him. Back to action in the neutral zone. Another physical play. I see it calling this one a little bit tighter. Ryan Sigich right on top of it, and I wouldn't blame him. Don't want it to get too out of hand. Quickly back the other way are the Tigers of Broken Arrow, working down the near side, trying to get anything possibly going in the middle of the field. They finally do. Weaver drops it. Turnaround shot, save made, shot by Rice. Brian Reese, excuse me, the save made by Tyrell Lacey.
Brian Reese did a good job. He just pivoted around, got on his left foot, and took a nice shot. Goalkeeper is in good position.
No score, nearing the halfway point of the first half. Broken Arrow on the attack. Tigers undefeated. Fiorentine waiting. Now he'll work it into the box, but
that was a
nothing
good ball.
there.
That ball was meant for Jonathan Weaver. Just got away from him a little bit, but the idea was very good.
Our officials tonight, of course, Ryan Sigich, Keith Haynes, and David Funk. And they'll watch this one roll across the end line.
From one goalkeeper to another.
Yeah, I was about to say, they're just kind of like playing catch.
You won't be able to do it in the second half. So.
But I guess whenever you have a game that's had a few ebb and flows to it, Charlie, like this one has had, is that working the advantage of the favorite, like say the Broken Arrow Tigers, or if you're a team that's probably going to have to battle an uphill climb like Jenks will tonight against this Broken Arrow team, does that favor you?
No, it really favors Broken Arrow. Right now, Broken Arrow looks like they're under control. They've got a good thing going for it. I think if Jenks are going to do anything, it's going to be in a breakaway. You know, you're going to get Lawless breaking out over there and a counter-attack. But right now, I think Broken Arrow's doing a good job of keeping it on the ground, trying to play possession, and being patient.
Sanders once again struggling, having to kick into a 30-mile-an-hour wind, but nonetheless still able to kickstart the Broken Arrow attack. Working down the right side, stolen for the moment by Sullivan, but Broken Arrow able to throw out his attack, but Jenks will get the throw in from the near side. 19:45 remaining in the first half. Jenks and Broken Arrow are scoreless. Last time out, Jenks beat Bartlesville 7-4. They knocked off Sapulpa 4-3, and their only loss of the season came back on March 20th to Memorial, where they lost 1-0. They don't want to have another one tagged in the L column tonight, but Broken Arrow is one of the best in the state, along with the Trojans, not to downplay the Jenks team at all, because they're on the attack here. We've got two great scorers. One of them, Dustin Lawless, number 12. He can't make a play whenever the pass is that far out in front of either him or Brian McCurdy, and it'll be, once again, I'm telling you, Aaron Sanders, it's like been the Aaron Sanders sitcom so far here this evening. There's a very solid goaltender for Broken Arrow High School. Got a chance to catch up with him before the game. Confident young man. You got to like that.
Yes, I know. He's been sharing some goalkeeping too. They've got two good goalkeepers. They've got another guy called Stockton who he plays quite a bit also. And but Sanders and Stockton, they've been doing a tremendous job. They could probably go to any D1 school they want to go to. I know Stockton's going to Midwest, and I'm not too sure where Sanders is going.
And right now it looks like
Hollingworth is coming off.
Yeah, they're going to make a substitution, bring back in Michael Cooper.
There we go.
That's good to see after the shot he took earlier in the game. So there's your update. The one guy we were concerned about so far, he is fine. Well, at least he's fine from me sitting up here. I'm sure he doesn't feel too good down there.
I felt very confident Michael would be back in there. He wants to play in this game so bad he can taste it.
Throwing down the far side for Broken Arrow, and just telling you, good battles for every single possession. Every single pass is contested. There's nothing taken for granted so far in what has been a roller coaster first half as far as momentum is concerned here at Broken Arrow Memorial Stadium. Got a good look finally. Using his head to get it back was Walker, and
yes, he's got to use his head. If he uses his feet and the goalkeeper touches it with his hands, then it'd be an automatic foul. So Walker did a good job of just flicking it back there to Sanders.
A good jump battle there between Berkey and one of my favorite high school soccer players, Dustin Lawless, because he plays so hard. And the last time Cox did a game, it was on a sleety, snowy night between Jenks and Union, and Dustin scored the goal that let us all go home. So I think he was one of the favorites of the entire crew that night.
You can remember from that.
Throw in on the far side for the Jenks Trojans, and here's Broken Arrow back on the attack again. And the transition game by both of these teams is just amazing. This one forces the freshman to come up and make the play, Tyrell Lacey. Some people might say you got a freshman playing in a varsity game. It's all about who's the best athlete and who gives you the best chance to win.
Tyrell's been playing for a long time in the competitive leagues too, you know, so he's tall, he's sharp, he's been going to a lot of soccer camps. He feels real confident there, and obviously if Coach Horn's putting him in there, then he feels comfortable with him.
Way, Aaron Sanders, whom we've chatted about quite a bit tonight, very good goalkeeper as we mentioned, and I usually don't like to brag about people off the field because I was so bad in school, but he carries a 3.9 GPA. When you round that up, I think that's a 4-point.
You're right. I would just make it simple, and that's great. You know, these young men. I hope everybody realizes that. If any of the young soccer players are watching, you've got to get the grades before you can get to the Division I or the big school. So if you don't have the grades, no matter how good you are, you're not going to make it.
And he had a good look there at a moment for Barrett Locke, a guy whose name we haven't mentioned too much here, and there he is, right back in the action.
Barrett's just coming back from a broken shoulder, and that's probably why he didn't start, but he's probably one of the better players around right now, is Barrett Locke.
Yeah, and he was even someone that Terry Strombeck mentioned in his pregame warm-up that they've got to keep an eye on. You know, I got this feel, Charlie, from the Broken Arrow team that they found something in Jenks that they felt like they could exploit. They found something in the Trojans that they felt like they could use to their advantage. Now, you wouldn't give any secrets, but obviously one of those would be Barrett coming back from an injury, knowing that he's not at 100%. But secondly, a suspect defense, because Jenks has struggled at times this season.
That's true, but Jenks made this fit, but they've got Brian Reese and Jonathan Walker up front. That matches up for the Jenks defense because they're physical and they like to go man-to-man. So as the game goes on, somebody's got to kind of break the ice a little bit here and make something happen.
We are scoreless thus far. You know, and I wondered, too, whenever they were mentioning they found some things they thought they could exploit. I didn't really see a speed advantage for Broken Arrow in this game with the actual speed of Lawless, and also we mentioned a Barrett Locke and the entire Jenks team. I mean, it almost seems like that's a dead heat as far as this game.
It does. I just think that maybe the coach is thinking of a situation is that overall his squad is maybe a little more talented than Jenks, but that's just going from man for man if you put them down from a 1 to a 10. But overall, I think that Jenks is not going to take that. That they're going to go after it.
There's a low ball to Lawless. He tries to loft it over Sanders and puts it over the crossbar. It'll be a goal kick for Sanders, and we'll have a substitution for Broken Arrow.
That was a good set play there by Jenks, taking that ball and cutting it back to Lawless and then have a goal. I think that was a lot closer. I'd like to see that again.
Yeah, watch it.
Yes, it wasn't far away.
Man. Justin Fiorentine checks back in for Broken Arrow. Tigers. Oh, just barely missed, falling by a goal there, but Sanders had his corner covered, and he'll boot it away. Broken Arrow undefeated. Jenks with 1 loss. Both teams have used a couple substitutions here in the first half. Ball towards the far side and being controlled now by Broken Arrow. Good defensive play by John Paul West. He'll clear it up the far side.
Oh, nice play by Namari.
Yeah, Mark Namari in there, and good battle defensively, and the throw in for Jenks and Daniel Fleming. Quickly back the other way. I kind of like the idea that they got in there and tried to do it quickly so no one could recognize it. Hey, Cox at Home high-speed internet service. You need to check out the fastest way to the World Wide Web with the Cox at Home high-speed internet service. Check for availability in your area by calling 665-0200. That's 665-0200. Anytime, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Cox at Home high-speed internet service. See, I still have one of those phone lines where I connect at 17.6, so it takes me 4 days to download one page. I think I need to call.
I think you need to
I need to call 665-0200.
I would recommend it.
Jenks, Broken Arrow, scoreless. High school soccer action here on Cox Communications. Chris Plank, Charlie Mitchell, glad to have you along with our entire Cox Communications crew, and hope you enjoy the broadcast as much as we enjoy bringing it to you. And a game that started out like it might be a barn burner has suddenly hit a brick wall for the second part of the first half. And if you're just joining us, you've missed a lot of Aaron Sanders' airtime, and the goalkeeper, I should say, for the Broken Arrow Tigers clears this one away. But he's also been able to set up attacks like this one. Great cross to the middle. Moment of breath, open moment, and the shot too high by Richard McCrary. And it'll be a goal kick for the freshman. Well, McCrary had a pretty good look. The defender overran the play. Watch it again.
You know, what he did actually there was he had an opportunity, and if he'd stopped the ball and lost it, he'd have felt bad. So he did the correct thing by taking the first time shot, and obviously this didn't connect from, but he just took his chance and this didn't correct it. But if he stopped it, then the player would have closed him up and then he'd have felt worse. So it was a good opportunity by Richard.
Bringing it down the near side now is Patrick Ryan, and actually going to call a foul. Reaching the 10-minute mark. Oh, call the throw. They didn't whistle the foul. Could have right there. They didn't. Johnson will work it to the midfield area. It's Barrett Locke. And that'll just roll out of bounds again. Two teams still, I think, trying to fill themselves out, even though we're through a majority of the first half.
And the coaches are doing a lot of substitute too. They don't want the players just to burn themselves out. I think Broken Arrow's thinking this is going to be a long game tonight and a lot of things could happen, so they're just moving people around.
Murphy lobs one towards Weaver in goal, but
Good
nothing
clearance.
doing, and a nice clearing shot by J.J. Havlick. But remember, he's going into the wind. Needs some help. Jonathan Weaver's got it. Cleared up to the midfield area. Good save by Fiorentine, but once again, Jenks back the other way. And Broken Arrow equal to the task. Almost like watching a tennis match right
They're
now.
moving fast. Some good soccer being played here. He catches this ball, he's going to attack the defender.
Mitch Sullivan working it up the far side for Lawless. Look at the speed of Lawless trying to get to the corner. Saves it before it goes across the end line. Once again, slide tackle to save it. Cross to the middle of the field. What a hustle by Lawless, and too far.
He's an exciting young player, that Dustin Lawless. He's good to watch. He's going to be a very good college player. And you know, you sometimes feel like he's trying to do it all by himself up there. I think once he gets the support and some people get around him, he's going to be very, very scary.
Almost put it in the back of the net. Still no score. What a great hustle play. Hey, with Cox Digital Cable, you can receive over 100 channels of sports, movie, and family programming. Call Cox Cable at 665-0200 to subscribe today. That's 665-0200. If you're not watching us on Cox Cable, Cox Digital Cable, you should. You really have no other option than to watch us on Cox Cable. But Cox Digital Cable, receive over 100 channels of sports, movie, and family programming. 665-0200. Call them today. Tell them the guy that stars in their commercial sent them. Lawless fires a shot towards the goal, but no one there on the receiving end. A nice little lead pass, trying to get something rolling, and just unable to do it.
Well, Patrick Ryan and Fauché there, they had a couple of Patrick Ryan get a little nutmeg, and then another 1-2 with AJ Fauché. So they're trying to work something down the flanks. It's obviously a little frustrating. You know, somebody's got to score that goal. Who's going to break the ice? And I think that both teams are doing a tremendous job.
Little history already there tonight. between Lawless and Cooper. Cooper for Broken Arrow, Lawless for Jenks. Dustin Lawless, they had a collision earlier in the game, and as a matter of fact, just recently checking back in the game was Cooper, but he seems to be fine. No blood. It's a little woozy. Of course, easy for me to say he's fine because I'm up here and not down there.
Well, the good news, he's in there and he's standing next to Lawless right now, and I'm sure.
And they weren't fighting, which is a good start.
These men know that this is not about fighting. It's about playing soccer,
There you go.
being competitive, and making it happen.
And they are right now, and Ryan Sigich blows the whistle. It'll be heading the way of Broken Arrow. Nearly 8.5 minutes. And Charlie, is there anything different you might want to do if you're Broken Arrow as far as attacking this Jenks defense?
No, I think Broken Arrow's done a good job, but they've had about 4 or 5 opportunities. Unfortunately, the one with Jonathan Weaver, the one with Richard McCreary, they've had some good chances, and they just haven't worked for them. So just keep doing what you're doing, and someone else might break through for you.
Once again, just pecking away. We used the terminology earlier about a prize fighter feeling each other out. This has been an entire 40 minutes of it. But here's Jenks with a good run. Nice hustle. Jason Lyons, cross, intercepted and broken up by Flouchet.
Just his final pass there. He did a great job of coming out the midfield, getting forward with it. Here's a counter-attack by Broken Arrow. Let's see what happens here by J.J. Havlick.
Havlick clears, sends it, I should say, down the left side. And once again, Jenks defense able to stall that attack, and Ryan Johnson clears it out, but nobody home in a maroon uniform.
Well, the idea was he was trying to get it back out to the flanks, out wide of the flanks there, and I think the ball just came too fast to him, and the wind caught it. So the idea was excellent.
Yeah, Mike Horn trying to encourage his team on, try to get one here before the half. Once again, so far so good as far as the weather is concerned. We have 30-mile-an-hour winds out of the south. We're under a tornado watch, but yet no rain in the Broken Arrow area so far, and I feel pretty safe in here in the Broken Arrow Memorial Stadium. So, hey, obviously, Terry Strombeck has us as guest, and he is able to make the wind be the only issue here tonight. You see
Rich McCreary's coming out.
Yeah, they're going to give him a little bit of a breather.
That's what
Fenner's played well.
That's what you get for missing, Richard. You're out of there.
He had that one open shot, and unfortunately, that's the only thing we'll remember about the first half. He has played some solid D. Here's Weaver, no rush at all. Remember, he's kicking into the wind here. Oh, and very close. They're trying to force him to make a play.
A little waste of energy there in that situation.
That's okay. I guess he can burn up a little bit of it.
So he's feeling good.
Working down the middle of the field are the Tigers, and Brian McCurdy is there to intercept it for the Trojans. He gets it to Lawless in the middle of the field. Lawless tried to work some magic but didn't have any room, and Broken Arrow now will try to start its attack. Broken Arrow in the white jerseys, Jenks in the maroon. Good spin move, but unfortunately good defense as well by Johnson. Broken Arrow now will sag back and try to set up its attack. Near the 5.5-minute mark in what's been a blistering pace to the first half of this men's game. As we said, as far as play goes, a little bit of up and down for both sides.
Yeah, they brought on Josh Edgman there from McCreary. Josh Edgman, number 3, he's playing out wide. He had a good move there for a minute.
Low shot on goal and nothing there. Havlick trying to catch maybe Lacey sleeping, but Tyrell, who, by the way, plans, I guarantee you this isn't a roadie, but he's planning a trip overseas this offseason, so that should help him out planning to England and Holland over the summer.
I hope he gets a chance to practice and train with some of the better teams over there. That'd be a great experience for him.
Yeah, help him out somewhere, something I'm sure you're very familiar with, Charlie, and something that can help out any youngsters.
Oh, yeah, if they write soon enough and get a hold of some of the clubs over there, the youth programs, they'll let them come out and practice with them if they give them plenty of notice.
Call a foul, watch it again. Trying to control the action was Flouchet, and the only word I can think there is taken out.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. He took it a little bit too tricky, and the defenders got a little physical with him. This will be a dead ball situation. I'm sure that
Havlick is there with Namari. They work it ahead and save just before can go across the end line, and a good battle on the far side between Namari and Johnson wins it, but Broken Arrow controls. Cross broken up by McCurdy and cleared away by the Trojans, but Broken Arrow back on the attack. We've reached, or nearing I should say, the 4-minute mark. 4 minutes to go, that should be, and you see bumping him off the ball. Good defensive play by or good offensive play I should say, by Patrick Ryan, because he helped set this up in the box. Broken Arrow, nice move, a shot on goal by Fiorentine is blocked, and it's cleared out of the box. But not out of danger yet for Jenks.
Good skill there by young Patrick Ryan. Oh,
Ryan taken down. Here comes the Trojans. Back the other way. Tried to cross it in a little bit of a form tackle by Cooper. That might be a little revenge for an earlier shot, but just good hard soccer too.
That's right, you know, that's what it's all about.
Cross to Lawless, got by him. Chasing it down on the far side is Fluchet. He gets to it just in time. Now there's 2-on-1, and Broken Arrow able to clear it out. But not out of danger again. A shot on goal is just wide.
George Ashman did a good job getting back there. He's playing wide left and get back there to help his defense. And
oh man, Aaron Sanders a little bit irate with his teammates, and sometimes you need a guy to step up and be the bad guy. And they're not afraid to be it there. Got to yell down the teammates every so often.
Well, most of these young men are encouraging each other. You know, like nobody wants to make a mistake. Nobody tries to make a mistake, and they all know each other pretty much. And they all want this so bad. So hopefully they're all out there encouraging each other and not trying to make it a little more difficult than what it is.
And there you get a good look at Michael Cooper trying to battle with McCrary. High ball, or excuse me, Michael Cooper is trying to battle in there with the Philip Sutton of Jenks. McCrary just checked out for Broken Arrow, if you're just tuning in. And the Tigers and the Trojans scoreless as we near the end of the first half of action here from Broken Arrow Memorial Stadium. There's a cross. Had a guy there for a second, but good defensive play made by the Trojans. And it's cleared out. Havlik battled momentarily with Lawless. You see Lawless kind of drop back a little bit for some defensive help.
They've done a good job. Broken Arrow's not getting this ball around, and they're going to force Broken Arrow to get back into more defensive mode. Good soccer right now from Broken Arrow.
2 minutes. There was a 2-minute warning in soccer. They'd be calling for it now. But you know what? Guys play on. Far side of the field, and the throw-in will belong to the Broken Arrow Tigers. See, Broken Arrow, very organized. I mean, Terry Strombeck was right in his pregame message. He said, hey, we're an organized soccer team. We've got to play that way. And so far, their attacks have been calculated and pretty precise, but Jenks has turned up the defensive pressure.
Yeah, and Jenks are doing good. They're working very hard. They're looking for a breakaway with the speed they've got up front with Lawless. Then they're going to wait for that breakaway, and it can happen at any time. And just never, as soon as you take your eye off them, it can break through. So I think Jenks is doing a great job defensively and closing them down. And Broken Arrow's playing some nice soccer.
Throw in and a little bit of a battle over who actually has the throw-in on the far side of the field. There's some unpleasantries exchanged. Match between Edgman and Fleming.
Yeah, just a little bit of excitement there, you know, the rush of blood.
Yep. Here's Jenks trying to look to slip one in here. Shot on goal, but high and wide by the Trojans' Jason Lyon. And don't think Aaron's in any rush for this one. He wouldn't mind getting that wind at his back for the second half. Under a minute to play. Still scoreless in the first half. Hey, don't forget, Major League Baseball is on Cox Communication. Your cure for baseball fever right here on Cox. The Cubs and the White Sox are on WGN. The Braves are on TBS Channel 13. WB on Channel 12 will be carrying a number of Cardinals games. ESPN has Major League Baseball on Sunday nights. And by the way, and Sunday night ESPN games will also be available in Spanish on Cox Cable 9. ESPN also has a doubleheader on most Wednesdays. We'll tell you about the Rangers package and the Astros on Fox Sports Southwest with the final 17 seconds here of the first half of action as Jenks and Broken Arrow are going to go into the locker room scoreless. I don't know if Jenks is going to have time. They're trying to get off the corner, or the throw-in from the corner. As you hear the PA announcer counting down the final seconds, and that'll do it. The first half is over. We've got another half of soccer still to come between one of the best in the state. How about this? Two of the best teams in the state as far as boys soccer is concerned. It's Jenks and Broken Arrow, and through one, it's a stalemate. 0-0. We'll have our halftime show coming up next, as well as not only a look back on the girls' game from earlier this evening, which was won by the Jenks Lady Trojans 2-0, but also a preview of the second half. And Charlie Mitchell will let you know some of the things that we might see done differently in a scoreless first half. Back with the second half of action in our halftime show next on Cox Communications.
Wi-Fi went from bad to pitiful. Oftentimes you couldn't really get on because the connections were not very good and you had to keep dialing and dialing. Come get me on this thing. And with the high-speed internet cable, you can get there quickly. My daughter helped me get to this site where we had the radio going. She wanted pop rock, but I switched to the smooth jazz, and she quickly left the room. Seriously, I'm moving and grooving through the internet.
Get Cox at home for as little as $29.95. Now available in Tulsa. Call 665-0200 today.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. One of my favorite moments was Aerosmith with the pink confetti. It was gorgeous. And then I gave him a rosy pink Kids' Choice Award.
Hey, how you doing?
Don't miss this year's moments. Nickelodeon's Kids' Choice Awards, April 21st. It's out of this world.
Go online and vote for your KCA favorites. It's fast and easy when you have Cox high-speed internet service.
Getting connected and staying connected is most important for me. Now, it's on the desktop right there, the icon, you double-click, in just a matter of seconds, it's right there. The #1 user is my 15-year-old daughter. She'll have 19 different conversations going at one time with the screens popping up. She'll come home and log on, and she'll stay there until she goes to bed at night, just about. She doesn't want to get off of it. I've got to pay her to get off and let me use it. I guess that's a 15-year-old girl for you.
Get Cox at home for as little as $29.95. Now available in Tulsa. Call 665-0200 today.
Welcome back to Broken Arrow Memorial Stadium. We're at the half. Jenks and Broken Arrow scoreless. What has been a very, very hotly contested first half of action here from Broken Arrow Memorial Stadium. Now, at halftime of the girls' game earlier, we had a chance to chat with Ken Ellett, the athletic director of Broken Arrow, so why not bring in Tommy Burns, the athletic director of the Jenks Trojans, Jenks High School out in Jenks. And obviously, Tommy, you got to feel good about the first half these guys played, and also you got the W in the girls' game. So Jenks riding high here so far tonight.
Oh yes, feel very well about it. You know, our girls played well, played a good two halves, and got the victory there. Our boys are really playing hard. This is about as well as I've seen them play this year. They've had a good half. If they can have a good second half, it'll be a good ball game.
You know, so many times this evening we've just absolutely sung the praises of this facility here in Broken Arrow. And you, as an athletic director, you've seen some improvements to Hunter Dwelly on the campus of Jenks High School. Obviously, you guys have installed some new turf. You put in some new stands. It's got to be nice to see the growth in some of the stadiums that these kids get a chance to play in Northeast Oklahoma.
Well, that's true. I think especially our conference schools, our kids are very lucky to have a facility like this one to play in. You know, this is tremendous. And yes, we've made some improvements to our facility, and our kids are pleased with that. Owassa has a new stadium. Bartlesville's looking to try to build some new facilities up their way. Of course, Union facilities are good. So we're pretty fortunate to get to play in some good areas, whatever the sport is. The schools in our conference all have good facilities, and it's great for our kids.
You know, so many times the conversations when you chat about Jenks High School is centered around Alan Trimble and the football program, and deservedly so, but there's some other great teams on campus, including Coach Sullivan's baseball squad. Haven't been able to keep up with them. How are the boys looking this spring?
They're playing very well. We got a young squad this year. We started a number of sophomores, but they're probably somewhere around 16-5 or something like that. Have a good record. They played well. They're getting better every time out. It's a good ball club right now, but I think they're going to even get better. Certainly, our pitching is young, and it's got to come on to the point it was last year. But baseball's doing very well.
How many seasons do you? How many events do you actually have going on right now? How many sports are actually playing?
Well, of course, we have the what we call the country club sports going right now with the golf and the tennis. And of course, we have soccer and track and slow pitch softball and baseball. So spring's very busy.
I can imagine. Also, it helps get you prepared for fall, which is going to be a busy time when it comes to football. But I guess one thing we learned more than anything is that there's more than just football that's playing in Jenks, and we noticed it here with this soccer team. Mike Horn, what do you see for the second half for the guys?
Well, I think our guys, of course, will have the wind at our face in the second half, and that'll make it more difficult for us. So our guys have got a tough second half looking at them, and if they'll play as hard as they played this first half, we'll be very pleased.
Tommy, it's always good to see you. Nice to have you swing by the booth here this evening and enjoy the second half of action. Should be fun. You already got a win under your belt tonight.
You betcha. Appreciate it.
All right, take it easy. Tommy Burns, the athletic director at Jenks High School, and we are getting set for the second half of action. But first, we couldn't do it without preview and analysis from Charlie Mitchell. That's coming up next, along with what should be an exciting second half of action between the Jenks Trojans and the Broken Arrow Tigers. High school soccer live here on Cox Communications.
Now that I've got cable internet, it's a lot easier. It's just like 3 clicks and you're in what you want to do. A lot of times I go to like Old Navy or Gap Kids and I bought this hat. I sometimes don't feel like getting out of my pajamas and getting out of the house. I can just go to the computer and buy clothes online. Can you buy cars on the internet? Can you buy islands? People buy islands.
Get Cox at home for as little as $29.95. Now available in Tulsa. Call 665-0200 today.
Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band's first ever TV concert, only on HBO. Don't miss it. For more one-of-a-kind events like Bruce Springsteen, order Cox Digital Cable and enjoy multiple channels of HBO.
With cable, I've noticed that things move very quickly because I could download, it seemed like 10 minutes worth of information in no time and watch a whole mini film. Oh my gosh, yeah, I'm all into videos right now. The graphics are absolutely amazing. I can watch a whole Madonna video. I'm just, tapping into new songs, new artists, expanding my horizons.
Get Cox at home for as little as $29.95. Now available in Tulsa. Call 665-0200 today.
Welcome back to Broken Arrow Memorial Stadium here in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. High school soccer action, Class 5A. It's boys here tonight. The girls played earlier, but we are through one, and we're right back where we started from. Isn't that like an old song that I'm missing out? Charlie Mitchell joining me, Chris Plank in the booth, as Broken Arrow and Jenks are scoreless in the first half. Now, earlier this evening, we were treated to a very physical contest between the Jenks Lady Trojans and the Broken Arrow Lady Tigers. And before we really start laying out what will happen in the second half of this game, here is highlights from earlier this afternoon. And it was a big game in many ways for the Jenks Lady Trojans, and they started by Brooke Lasky, who had not one but 2 goals in this game, and she hadn't scored one coming into this game. Charlie, she was the offensive spark.
She really did. She'll feel good about herself, but she took both the goals very, very well. The header was a good header, great cross, and then that one, there's a fine shot right over the top of the goalkeeper's head. So, she was on the ball and she did a great job.
Yeah.
There's another good header there, and the goalkeeper did well to clear it away.
Yeah, you have to give credit all evening long to the play of the defense of the Broken Arrow Tigers. Yeah, they walk away with an L, but they don't walk away with anything to hang their hat about. Look at some of the plays that were made all evening long by Swinson, and even though Broken Arrow fell short in the on the scoreboard, they played an excellent soccer match, and the Jenks Lady Trojans a little better.
I think so too, and I think probably the coaches wanted to push up in the second half a little bit more, but it's hard to get the young ladies just to get in tune and change the style of play all of a sudden. So I'm sure that the Coach Kins is disappointed in the result, but overall, when he gets a chance to look at these players play again, the effort was tremendous. They worked hard, they gave everything they had, and that's all you can ask from a player.
And, of course, just one final thought. We mentioned the physical play. By no means meant to mean anything dirty. It's just 2 teams that really wanted it and went after it hard.
Yeah, it's physical, competitive. I thought the sound of soccer was very good for the girls. It was obvious that both teams wanted to win. The tackles were hard. They were fair. And everybody was wanting to get a little piece of the ball. And that's the whole idea. If you start – actually, what happens in soccer, if you start laying back and don't get into a tackle, you get more chance of getting hurt.
Mm-hmm. And, of course, we still have a second half of action to come here in the boys' game. And, Charlie, I don't really know. It seemed like it was a little bit of an ebb and flow first half as we take a look at some of the action. Still very physical play that continued. You see Dustin Lawless right there getting into Michael Cooper a little bit, and both teams very aggressive.
Yeah, but if you look at some of the boys are playing the ball. I mean, they're looking for that ball. Nobody's intentionally trying to hurt anybody. And that's what makes it so enjoyable to watch the high school soccer or even the club soccer these days. It's if we as coaches try to encourage them to play that ball and play it hard, then good things will happen. That's a great defense there.
Absolutely amazing by John Dessauer earlier in the game.
Good concentration. And then you can see Jonathan Weaver did get his knee on the ball, went around the goalkeeper, and great save.
That kept it scoreless, and it remained that way. Aaron Sanders was tested a few times.
Brian Reese had a shot there. And
Tyrell Lacey, yeah.
Michael, Richard McCray there has a chance. But once again, in my opinion, he did the right thing. He took the chance, took the shot. He just didn't connect right, rather than think about it and lose the ball, and the other team would be counterattacking.
There's a look. The Jenks Trojans lead the shots on goal category, 6 to 3. I think we really, as far as scoring chances go, only had about 2 or 3 very, very big, solid scoring chances. And as you see, both goalies have been forced to make only 2 saves of those shots on goal.
I think that you're going to find that maybe the second half will be just a little bit different. I think you're going to find that Jenks once again will concentrate mostly on a counter-attack with Lawless and his speed. I don't see Bart Locke on there, so he must still be injured. And I think you'll see Broken Arrow playing more of a keeping the ball on the ground, getting the ball out wide, down the flanks and crossing that ball in, where you're going to see people like Brian Reese and Jonathan Weaver and Namari getting on the end of it.
One thing we'll definitely get is more of Charlie Mitchell and more of the second half of high school soccer action here on Cox Communications. 1 down, well, 1 game down, 1 half of the second game, 1 to go. Jenks, Broken Arrow, the second half is coming up next.
Getting connected and staying connected is